It's winter in the mountains of Greenbrier County, 1897. Snow clings to the trees outside, muffling everything. Inside your cabin, the fire pops and cracks, but it doesn't chase away the chill creeping at your spine. You can't stop thinking about her, your daughter, Zona. Just 23 years old, buried days ago. The neighbors say she collapsed suddenly. The doctor says her heart gave out. But you don't believe it. Your son-in-law, Trout, behaves strangely. Too strange. He dressed Zona's body himself, forced a high collar around her throat, and never let the doctor near her neck. Tonight, you pray again. You beg God for anyone listening to show you the truth. Then something shifts. The air grows heavy, the fire dims, and in the corner of your room, a shadow lengthens into the shape of a woman. Zona. Her face is pale, her eyes wide with fear. She leans close, her voice soft but urgent.
Mama, he killed me.
Then the figure turns. The head twists slowly and unnaturally until the neck bends at an impossible angle. You can't breathe, but she speaks again.
He snapped my neck.
You wake in the morning, unsure if it was a dream, but the next night she returns, and the next night, and 4 nights in a row, each time her message the same. Zona didn't die of natural causes, she was murdered. And only you can bring truth to the light. This is the story of the Greenbrier Ghost, the only case in U.S. history where the testimony of a spirit helped to secure a murder conviction. So, before we get into it, go grab yourself a snack, get yourself something to drink, and come back and hang out with me. I'm Andrew, and this is Legends Untold. To understand why this took root, you need to understand the setting. Greenbrier County was a small rural part of West Virginia, isolated in the Appalachian Mountains. Life was hard, winters were long, and old traditions were still held strong. Belief in ghosts, omens, and supernatural was common. Folks told stories of haints, H-A-I-N-T-S, haints, that lingered near the hollows or spirits warning of danger. In that culture, Mary Jane Hester's claim of being visited by her daughter's ghost wasn't dismissed as quickly as it might have been elsewhere. It fit neatly into Appalachian folklore and into the fears of a grieving mother. Multiple ways to say Appalachian. Some people say Appalachian. Either way is correct. It just depends on where you come from. I've always said Appalachian. It just, to me, rolls off the tongue easier, so that's where we're going with it. Elva Zona Heaster was described as a kind and cheerful lady. In 1896, she met Erasmus Stribling Trout Shue, a blacksmith who had moved into Greenbrier County. Trout was charming, but also mysterious. Few knew his past. In fact, Trout had been married twice before. His first marriage ended in divorce, with his wife claiming abuse. His second wife died under suspicious circumstances. But in a small town with few records and little communication, this history wasn't widely known. Zona fell in love, and the two married quickly. It wasn't long before whispers spread of arguments in the household, and Zona's family worried, but there was little they could do. On January 23, 1897, a neighbor boy discovered Zona's lifeless body on the floor of her home. Trout claimed he had sent the boy to check on her. When the doctor arrived, Trout behaved erratically. He dressed Zona himself, highly unusual at the time, and insisted on a stiff collar and scarf tied tightly around her neck. He refused to let the doctor examine her properly, sobbing loudly whenever anyone came near. The doctor eventually listed the cause of death as everlasting faint, a vague term for heart failure. Zona was buried quickly. Trout seemed eager to move on, but her mother was not convinced. According to Mary Jane Hester, her daughter returned 4 nights in a row. Each visit revealed more detail. Night 1, Zona appeared silent, her presence overwhelming, leaving Mary unsettled. Night 2, Zona whispered that her death was not natural. Night 3, she revealed her husband's violent temper, describing years of abuse. Night 4, Zona described the fight in vivid detail. Trout grew angry when she had not cooked meat for dinner. Trout attacked her and broke her neck. She turned her head all the way around to demonstrate the injury. To Mary Jane, this wasn't a dream, it was a testimony, proof that she was determined to use it. So we can kind of dive in here and look at this from the family's perspective. So we have read so far that the family knew or speculated that there were fights in the household, that they had heard raised voices on several occasions. Nobody really knew of Trout's history of violence against his partners, but you can claim, knowing now, that there were fights and loud noises and voices and stuff like that with the relationship, that they were fighting. So it wouldn't be too far out of the way to accuse the husband of doing it. As a matter of fact, in today's day and age, whenever a spouse passes away of questionable reasons, they always look at the spouse, the other spouse first, right? That's always the main target. So I don't think it would have been too different back then. But let's keep reading and get a little further into this. Mary Jane went to the prosecutor, John Alfred Preston, and demanded action. Whether he believed her story or simply wanted clarity, he agreed. On February 22nd, Zona's body was exhumed. This time, a full autopsy was performed by 3 doctors, including Dr. Knapp, who had originally been barred from examining her. The findings were shocking. Bruises on the throat, a crushed windpipe, torn ligaments, and the neck cleanly broke between the first and second vertebrae. Zona had been strangled. Trial of Trout Shue. Now remember, the ghost came to her mother and said that he broke my neck, and then she spun her head around on her neck to demonstrate to her mother. Trout was arrested and charged with murder. The trial began in June 1897. The prosecution presented the autopsy results and highlighted Trout's odd behavior. His past marriages also came to light, painting a picture of a dangerous man. The defense, desperate, turned to Mary Jane's ghost story. They questioned her at length, hoping to prove she was unreliable, superstitious, and delusional. But Mary Jane never wavered. In front of the jury, she calmly explained her daughter's nightly visits. She insisted she had no doubt about what she saw. The jury believed her. Combined with physical evidence, Trout was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. He died in 1900, just 3 years later. Skeptics argue that Mary Jane may have not literally seen a ghost. Instead, her grief could have produced vivid dreams or hallucinations. Psychologists note that bereaved people often experience visitation dreams. They feel incredibly real. I can tell you from personal experience, my daughter's mom, when her father passed away, she would see him in dreams all the time. I was there when her father passed away. I had to stand there and play the role. That was my role to play at the time. The boyfriend of the grieving spouse, pretty much spouse. Well, I mean, we were together for 8 years, so like common law, I guess. But yeah. So I mean, I've seen that firsthand. It's it's not a pretty thing in the world, but you do it for people that you love. You're there for them. That's what love is, right? You're just there for people. But she was a completely different person after that. We're not going to get into that, but it happens. It can change people. So others suggest Mary Jane had already suspected Trout and used the ghost story to pressure officials into exhuming the body. In a community steeped in ghost lore, her testimony carried weight. Still, the fact remains, without Mary Jane's persistence, ghostly or otherwise, Zona's murder might never have been uncovered. The Greenbrier Ghost became legend. To this day, his state historical record in West Virginia tells the story, proudly noting it as the only case in which the ghost testimony helped solve a crime. Folklore study it as an example of how belief can shape justice. Paranormal investigators point out to the proof of communication from beyond the grave. Even law schools mention it when teaching the boundaries of evidence and testimony. Zona's grave still draws visitors, some leaving flowers, others hoping to catch a glimpse of the Greenbrier Ghost. We saw not really something similar, but with the Warrens, the whole devil made me do it, the Arnie Johnson case, where they were able to call it demonic possession. We've seen that was used in court. Wendigo psychosis has also been used as a defense in court. Wendigo psychosis is when you think you're a Wendigo. It's a thing. It happens. People will say and do anything in court. So my personal opinion is that the mother had an idea of what was going on in a relationship, and that she wanted to make sure that her daughter's murder was caught. She had to have absolutely believed that he was guilty in order to go do that. So good on her, good on her for doing that. And yeah, it's one of those things. So what really happened in Greenbrier County? Did Zona truly return from the grave to demand justice, or did her mother, fueled by grief and suspicion, use the language of a ghost to bring the killer to light? Either way, the result is the same. Greenbrier Ghost stands as one of America's strangest intersections of folklore and law, where the supernatural walked right into the courtroom and the murderer was found guilty. So if you like this episode, let me know down below. Let me know what you think of the Greenbrier Ghost and that testimony being used in court. Let me know if you have anything else from wherever you're from. And yeah, if you want to support the channel, there's the merch bar down below. You can always pick yourself up some dope merch. I recently added a new t-shirt to the store. Let me know of any other ideas you guys want for that. I'm always looking for stuff to add to the store. It's a little slow going because I have to design it and all that stuff. So what you guys think, if you want any other merch, if you want to support the channel more directly, there's a PayPal link in the bio of this video, or the description of this video. There's also the link in my bio, if you will. You can always buy me an energy drink that way. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here, and I will see you next time. Peace out.
Where others say